Hey everybody, how's it going? It's Friday, April 18th. Time for the Friday just after Bill Burr's Thursday before Friday, Monday morning podcast. My name is Joe, Average Joe, as you know. And so anybody have that coworker or that friend that starts a conversation like halfway through the conversation? So you have no fucking clue what they're talking about or even how to respond. You don't know what you're supposed to even, like, where do you want me to pick up in this conversation? I have the double agent I was talking about, the double agent at work. Well, funny side note real quick. She drove in oh, look at that. She drove in a convertible to work today and it's raining. So she's getting a free car wash inside and out. But no, she just starts a conversation with me just out of nowhere. It's just, you should go to I don't even remember the name of the place. That's how random it was. You should go here. And I get it, I'm new to Michigan, so within the year new, so all the places to go and see, I'll take a little nudge in a fun direction, sure, but it's just like, you should go here. Without any pre-context or anything, I'm just like, what the fuck is here, like, what is this? And I don't know, I had the game, look, now it's sunny, it's fucking like Florida weather. I had the game Monday, which was awesome. I told you guys about that, got to meet Darren McCarty, got to have some amazing seats, only thing is, though, is I don't have, I mean, I didn't even pay for the ticket, and I still, just the money I spent on merchandise and drinks, I didn't get food there, but I got drinks, because, it's hard to sneak in a fucking bottle of alcohol with no purse, I guess I could have brought a purse. Well, yeah, they search them. I was going to say, I could have played the fucking, you can't tell me I'm not, I'm not a purse, allowed to have a man purse, or call me trans, whatever the fuck excuse I need to use. But they'll search anyway. But either way, so yeah, the drinks are fucking outrageous. Merchandise, all that. So I've been kind of in a irritable mood all week, and I kind of feel like when you're the only sober person at a party, or even with your group or your friends, you're the only sober person, so you're sitting there, you're waiting for this shit to end. It's like, God, this is, fucking, this is taking forever, I'm bored. Everybody else is just, like slamming around, and then you always got the one person that comes up and they're like, hey, I see you. I see you're bored. Come here. Come do this. Come do this with me. It's fucking annoying as shit, and it's not their fault. It's not your fault that you're having a good time and I'm, sober and you're drunk or whatever the case. But that's how I've been. That's how my week has been since the game, pretty much. Like, the game was great. The next morning was awesome. Got to talk about it. Fucking next day was awesome. And then just Wednesday, Thursday, and today, I mean, TGIF fucking more than any other week. Thank God it's Friday. I'm going to try and figure out financially how I'm going to get myself out of this fucking mess that I caused going to this game. And then I put myself negative, which, then you got the overdraft fees, and it's like fucking $40-50 now. Just for, one day. Like, you get 24 hours. They're like, you put the money back, or we're taking a whole, a half a day's pay, or, geez, it's like, fucking feel like, I don't know, man. I'm already getting taxed enough out here. I was fucking hilarious yesterday. Speaking of that, I was listening to Trump's, he was interviewing with the Italian Prime Minister, which, I'm supposed to be Italian descent, and, I have some family that speaks Italian, and this lady didn't sound anything like any of my family, which, I know we're Americanized, for a few hundred years, or at least like 100 years now, but I mean, she sounded like she was like fucking, like from the Middle East, like she sounded almost more Indian, or one of the stands, like Kazakhstan or Pakistan, like sounds more from one of those places than from Italy, which I don't know what their laws are, and doesn't affect me here. But the funny part is Trump said he said the eggs were down 92% for pricing. And I'm on my way home yesterday from work. I stopped at the store, and just for shits and giggles, I looked, and eggs are the same price they have been for the last couple of weeks. So that's funny. And he also, some lady, he was getting all these positive questions, like, Trump, you're doing amazing, you're doing this. And, it was all like, oh, we're doing great. Our administration, this is the best administration in the world. We're the best leaders the world's ever seen from any country or any empire in history of humanity. We're gonna take everybody in the world faster, higher, farther than we've ever been. Fucking God bless the blue marble. Yada yada, whatever. Make Europe great again. Make Russia great again. Make everything fucking great again. China, blah blah blah. But no. And then he says gas is under $2 in at least 2 states. And once again, gas here maybe has gone down 5 cents, 10 cents, like on average. But yeah, so I've been in this fucking cranky, whiny, bitchy mood all week, which guys aren't allowed to be in, so I just have to hold it in, and then you just get fucking angry. I did actually, though, one silver lining yesterday. My friend comes up to me, and I actually got a physical ticket. He's like, hey, here's your ticket from the game. So I got an actual physical ticket of as a little token of memoir kind of deal for the game. So that's cool. My first game up here, and my first non-nosebleed game, because I can't afford that shit. I'm not even gonna look at the fucking price on the ticket. shouldn't even look at it. But yeah, so financially, we're gonna drop some credit score here, because we're gonna be fucking catching up on all this shit, which I don't even know what to say about that. I'm just aggravated because I tried listening to Bill, and he starts off, he's like, I got this goofy energy, and he's got this little kind of happy, goofy-go-lucky energy, and he's getting to see his kids and all this, and I'm just sitting here, like I said, like that sober person at the party, just like, man, when is this going to be fucking over? Got to make a podcast for Friday morning or Friday. It's not even going to be funny, man, because I'm all bitchy and whiny like a little pussy. Yeah, then, so going on to Bill, I was watching some lizards gang up on a snake, and he said he didn't think reptiles had feelings. And my first thought was, what, Bill, you never cuddled with an alligator before? you never just lay it on top of one's back, just real sweet and gentle, and pet it right on the forehead, like Steve Irwin style with the crocodiles. But no, on that note, though, I've seen plenty of Animal Kingdom where I like how he put it. Like, I can't put it the same way, because he's like, yeah, it's one lizard, and then the other, it's his friends like, oh, it's not how shit works around here. Like the lizard fucking even better, since they shed, he rolled up his shedded skin and fucking flexed his front arms, and he went up to the snake, and he used his lizard's, fucking, hopefully he had the, hopefully it was an exotic video. He had like the stretchy tongues like frogs and shit. That'd have been funny as hell. The snake's trying to do his job, he's trying to kill the other lizard, and here comes his buddy. Like I said, he's rolling up his snake skin or his lizard skin sleeves, getting all swollen, ready to fucking go, and just starts tonguing him right in the eyeball. Well, I get right in the snake's eye, or kick him in the nuts, which is the only reason I even know snakes have the actual, like, a male snake has a private, which I don't even know this. But again, this is this double agent lady at work with her fucking random stories. Like, this week I've heard about Uranus Fudge Packing Plant in Kentucky, which is a fucking beautiful name for Uranus Fudge Packing. And then I look it up, sure as shit, literally, sure as shit. In Kentucky, it's like, then the website's like, come now and get all your fudge packed at Uranus. Oh man, the humor behind that name, whoever came up with that was like a once in a lifetime deal, you know. Like you're not getting that anywhere else. You're not coming across that. You're not getting that lucky with naming something like even Musk, you know, Elon Musk with his fucking, you know, the boring company, because they bore holes, you know, like that was clever. It was like a dad joke, you know, like a ha ha, you know, like fucking, when I think of dad joke, like I was thinking, you know, like, you know, why does the chicken cross the road? Well, you know why? Because they wanted to, you know? I mean, that's the fucking, you know, when I think of the boring company or shit like that. But the fucking fudge packing company, that's awesome. That's I wonder how much shit they get. What God, I love to play on words. I wonder how much shit they get for naming that. And then so yeah, you know, Bill, when he talks about being bored, he seems like he's really into nature. He's always talking about nature videos and watching you know, snakes fight this, and how a raccoon, you know, kills a squirrel, and you know how you know, 3 giraffes can gang up on I don't fucking know. You know, he's always got some weird shit, or he's making fucking food. You know, like like he says in his stand up. You know, I'm just sad, just making food and sad. That's me, but I just order the food instead, which isn't helping my financial issues. But I don't want to fucking cook. I'm just being honest. So it's fucking adding all the spices and seasonings and shit. And then even then, I don't know, like, people are always like, I love home cooked meals. I fucking, you know, I love when grandma and grandpa cook, or mom and dad makes their special, you know, recipe. And you know, maybe it's just my family. I mean, I've had good cooks in the family, don't get me wrong, that make, you know, like you know, green beans and corn and like all the, you know, regular canned shit that you get at the house. But like, you go out to a restaurant, like even I hate to say this, but like, this is an example, like McDonald's. I don't care, but nobody's making fries at home that are as good as McDonald's. You know, like, you know, not at least that kind of fry. You know, you want to make like steak fries, and you want to fry the heck out of them so they're nice and crispy. That, for me personally, that's golden. You know, take it. But you're not taking, you know, like, or even Culver's. You know, like, you're not making, you know, a fast meal like as quick as they make it. Which I get, they already, you know, they say Culver's specifically says they make it to order. Which it seems like they might, because you do have to wait. But regardless, you wouldn't fucking make it that fast at home. Like, you'd be busting your ass to get those patties to cook that fast, those fries to be fried that fast, and then you'd burn the shit out of your mouth because you'd be in such a rush, not knowing what to do. So yeah, my point is, I don't get the home cooked meals are better than the restaurant or the delivery meals. Like, you know, I've never made pizza dough, sauce, and, you know, added cheese, and had a pizza that was as good as, you know, some of the pizzas I get out, you know, out and about. But let's see, another Bill note. Oh yeah, so yeah, he was talking about he likes watching nature, you know, and he's talking about like watching all these videos and how to make this and how to fix that. And you know, I get bored and I do the same thing when I'm not wasting time doing, you know, podcasting or whatever the fuck you want to call it, audio recording. You know, I'm making a fucking cassette tape. Shit. No, I was gonna say I like watching videos where humans, like me, I like watching videos where they fuck up a lot. Because it makes me feel better about my own failed life. You know, nothing makes you feel better about your life being shitty than watching someone go to jump off a roof into a pool and then like hitting the trampoline with half their body, doing like a fucking 720 into the pool, and then like belly flop smacking the water, and then their face hits like the fucking, you know, the edge of the pool, so they got like a fucking, you know what I'm talking about, the fucking ridiculousness videos, or the the ones where fucking like people are getting chased by chickens and shit. That's the kind of stuff I watch. So I don't have to remind myself about how easy it is to go into fucking debt, go into a fucking hockey game that I didn't even pay for. And then Bill said his daughter figured out the Tooth Fairy. And, you know, he said he's not going to make it to Christmas because she's going to figure out, you know, the rest of the shit. And funny stories, the Tooth Fairy, my mom actually kept it going. Not figured it out, but kept it going by, she forgot one night. And I woke up and I flipped over my pillow and bam, there's the tooth. And I'm like, you know, like, as an adult now, it's like, what the fuck? Like, what do you got overstock? Like, you know, are there tariffs on teeth now? Because this shit was made in the USA. And it was made, grown, and born, made, grown, fucking, and then ruined in the USA. So, you know, I want my deposit back. You know, I'm pissed. But what my mom did is she, you know, I guess I was still young enough. She grabbed the phone. At the time, it was the house phone, you know, so it's got the nice little curly, cute shoestrings. I don't know if you remember those shoestrings. That was a fucking thing. For all of like a year in the 90s. But, I guess it might have been a Hooters girl thing because, you know, they had the fucking outfits they had to wear and still got to wear. But, yeah, the curly shoestring phone cord. You know, and so she's on there, and of course, you know, being tall and with the house phone, it's not like, you know, today, like where the cell phone, you know, the kids, let me see, I want to hear, and, you know, they could hear you bullshitting, and they could hear the fact that there's nobody on the other side of that line. That's, nobody's fucking coming and, you know, there's no customer support for the Tooth Fairy. But, you know, she got me to believe it. She complained, and she acted mad. And to her credit, you know, she didn't really get mad too much, and when she did, it was, you know, maybe she didn't even act mad. Maybe she was mad at herself and just took it out on the Tooth Fairy on the phone. But the point is, she made it believable. But what got me for everything, because I feel like Santa is last. Like, Santa's the biggest. You know, you wait all fucking year for Santa. Like the Easter Bunny, yeah, you wait, but it's like, you know, it's a bunny and there's a couple eggs and, you know, some candy. But, you know, it's a little mythical, but, you know, it is what it is. Whatever, kids enjoy it, and then they go on. You know, the kids aren't thinking like in summer. It's not, you know, if you say in October, like, hey, you know, you better act good because the Easter Bunny's coming in spring. You know, I don't think many kids are like, oh shit, I gotta straighten my shit up. But you tell them, you know, hey, look, Santa's watching, and there's a lot of kids that are at least for 5 minutes, you know, they'll straighten their shit, get their shit together. You know, military style. I'm fucking here. I'm ready to go. I am Santa's trooper, you know? But once Santa's figured out, I think it's like one of those, it's like fucking, what is it, Jenga, where you pull the sticks, and then once, you know, you can pull a couple and get away with it, but once you pull that one, it doesn't matter who does it, but once you get to that stage, the whole tower's coming down, you know? And, mine got ruined. I was like 11, maybe 10 or 11. And at mom's house, my parents got divorced when I was a baby, so, you know, I got the privilege, if you want to call that a privilege, of having 2 Christmases and birthdays, but I also got the divorce fights and, you know, arguments and fucking custody battles. So I guess you could say I somewhat earned it, but no, I got the 2 Christmases, and, you know, birthday's different because there's no Santa on your birthday, but Christmas, there's Santa, so mom's house, it was the very typical, very by the book. You know, we're making chocolate chip cookies. You know, 17 are for me, 3 are for Santa, because I was always a cookie whore. You know, leave the milk out. My mom would get like special handwriting. Well, not get it, like she'd go buy some special handwriting. No, she'd break out her special handwriting and a different pen, different wrapping paper. So it's totally 100% believable. You know, cookies were munched on, milk was sipped. You know, wrapping paper is totally different, unrecognized. The handwriting is not mom or grandma's or anybody. And then you go to dad's house, and the one year he says, you know, he's like, Santa wants Snickers and Almond Joy and blah, blah, blah. And basically all my dad's favorite candy, which didn't fully give it away, but it was part of it. Then I wake up and it's like, Santa used the same wrapping paper and the same handwriting, the same wrapping paper, and the same marker. My dad had there's like a special gold like Christmas marker. He'd use like a gold marker and maybe a silver one he had for Santa, but he must have lost it this year. I don't know. And he's one of those. He's the Christmas Eve shopper, where he goes to Walmart on Christmas Eve, doesn't know what to buy, so he just throws like $500 like basically throws like $500 at the cashier and just please just fill this fucking cart with $500 worth of shit that a kid, of this age and this year would like, and then they freak out and run around like chicken with the heads cut off. But he always made it work. But yeah, so I asked him, I'm like, hey, I noticed that Santa at everybody else's house likes cookies and milk, but here he wanted all the candy that you like. And he's like, yeah, Santa gets sick of cookies and milk at everybody else's house, so he wants to switch it up a little. And I'm like, okay, he got me with that one. Like, okay, that's a logical answer. I was like, that makes sense. So, I believe that. And so I went to the next question. I'm like, all right, why do you use the same wrapping paper and pen? And he goes, oh, well, he ran out. And he asked to borrow my pen, so I let him use it. And I let him use the rest of the wrapping paper that I had. Now, again, the wrapping paper, okay, millions of kids, you ran out of paper. All right, not as believable, but, you still got me on a string here. I'm not fully, I'm not fully out of the woods yet. And then, the same pen, that, to me, I called bullshit on that. Because, that was Dad's special pen, and he didn't even let the kids touch it. So what, you letting Santa use your shit, but not me? Which Santa's an adult anyway, so I don't know why, But that's where it got to me, the pen. And then, that's when I looked at the handwriting and realized it's the same pen and it's the same handwriting. I'm like, but at Mom's house, Santa writes in cursive and he writes so fucking fancy, and and then if I put the two and two together, and yet that was it. That was the end of that. So, yeah, if you take anything away from today's cast, it was a shitty week for me. Thank God it's Friday, though, payday. If you're paid weekly or bi-weekly on this happens to be your payday. But either way, Friday, so, weekend off. I might actually go out tomorrow. I'm thinking about it. I'm going to check out a mall. And then tomorrow night, I might go to my first club, bar, whatever you want to call it. Fucking dance house. To fucking have a couple drinks and meet somebody. We'll see. I'm gonna see if I can't scrape up some fucking, figure out, my money issues and whatnot. And that's the fucking problem. Like, Bill will fly out to New York, get a hotel, and, come fucking see my show. Well, yeah, what about the fucking money, Bill? What about the money? Because I went to a free game. And, yeah, I won't keep bitching about it, but, yeah, if you take anything away from this week, it's, don't ruin Santa for your kids. Reptiles have feelings too. Now we got to start a reptile movement because, it's equality. Reptiles matter, fucking Bill. You fucking anti-reptilian. You have Jesus, man. I thought the world was past this, I thought we treated reptiles with the same respect as amphibians. At least I got a couple things I can make myself fucking laugh at. Because I sure as hell ain't got much else to laugh at. You guys don't give me shit to laugh at. Oh, and he never smoked a blunt. You got cigars? It's totally random. I know I said I was ending. But he says he's got smoked cigars. He's drank alcohol. He's done mushrooms a couple times. At least, that he's talked about. But he's never smoked a blunt. Or, a fat joint. And, my comment on that was, I'm going to plead the fifth on this one. This is for entertainment value only, but for the purpose of this podcast. But I, too, am one of the smokers that, I smoke and then I function. So, he said he was, envious. He, wishes he could, just smoke and then go do stuff. And I want to say, you can. I mean, there are those few who are lightweights or who, have reactions to it or whatnot that will tell you otherwise. But the majority of smokers will say you could damn near, smoke what you want. Well, not what you want like that, but, smoke as much as you want, I should say. and still be able to function like a normal human. You know, you might be a little giggly, maybe a little hungry or sleepy, but you'll still function. But, yeah, so let's see here. We got that covered and all that. Lastly, I guess I'll tell you, yeah, the double agent, I think it's a cougar conspiracy. Because she's up in the retirement years. I think it's I'm gonna call it Operation Cougar. Because the fucking subtle hints that are given off to the younger guys that work here are, sometimes they're subtle and sometimes it's just like, I mean, you might as well just come out and say it. But, yeah, we're going to try and figure out what agency she's working for. You know, whether it's a private agency. Get it? Cougar, private agency. Yeah, I know, I'm fucking stupid. All right, well, on that note, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. He mentioned the parents around him fucking buying all the right shit, so it looks like they were the rich kids in the neighborhood. I wanted to say that I was the rich kid in my trailer park, which, if you don't get the trailer park reference, then you'll see, obviously, I wasn't the fucking rich kid, but, you know, I had a PlayStation, I had a fucking bike, or a newer bike, newer skateboard, yada yada, so, you know, I get what that's like, but at the same time, you know, looking around the houses next to you, I get that too, because, you know, if your friend would get something and it was like, well, why doesn't my mommy and daddy afford that? You know, so I totally get that. But, yeah, other than that, go fuck yourselves, enjoy your weekend. I'm going to enjoy it, I'm going to relax. I'm not doing a fucking thing that matters. Other than that, Bill, go fuck yourself. You and your fucking happy fucking family and visiting and having all kinds of fun, and now you get to see your kids. You said today he's going to see his family, so they're probably already fucking on their way or there. So go fuck yourself royally, because I can't fly and see my family. Other than that, enjoy them. Everybody else, enjoy your fucking weekend. Hope your week was better than mine, not including the game, of course, which was fucking great. But, yep, go fuck yourselves. Talk to you on Tuesday. And hopefully we'll have some better shit to say.